Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Bears Batch. Today we have some very special guests with us, Aishan and Bhumi. They're going to join us to talk about Dhurandhar. So we're going to go into full spoilers on Dhurandhar because it's been out for about a month now. It's going to come on to Netflix soon. So we're going to go in depth into what we liked, what we didn't like. And yeah, we're just going to go and talk about Dhurandhar. Well, first I'll give an opportunity to introduce yourselves, Aishan and Bhumi. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
You want to do it? You want to do it? No, you do it. Okay.
What's up? My name is Aishan. This is my wife, Bhumi.
Hi.
So we have a channel called Business is a Must, which is on YouTube and TikTok. So we do mainly Bollywood recreations. Um, and just recently, we completed our first season of the Bomb Podcast, which is a Bollywood podcast. So we're super excited that you guys were able to have us on your show. And yeah, we're very excited to talk about Dhurandhar.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, no problem, of course. Okay, so how should we start? I guess I can start with like some of the positives that I liked about it to get the discussion going. So first off, like I really enjoyed the film. So our last episode that we did was our 2025 year in review of all Indian films, not just Telugu or South Indian, but just we decided to include all of India. And The Runner was in my top three. It was my third film in my list, so I really enjoyed it. Um, I loved almost all aspects of it. There's only very few nitpicky things that I didn't like, which are honestly like not even a big deal. So majority of the thing I enjoyed a lot. And yeah, I mean that's kind of like my mini analysis of it. But you guys can also start.
Yeah, no, so this teaser actually released on my 30th birthday. So what ended up actually it's really weird. So my birthday is on July 5th. Ranveer Singh's birthday is on July 6th.
Yeah.
So we were celebrating my 30th in Philadelphia, and it was the day after we had my big birthday bash, and we were all chilling in the room, and then all of a sudden Ranveer Singh drops this teaser. I'm like, what is this teaser? Click on it, and it's Ranveer Singh, Akshay Khanna, Sanjay Dutt, Arjun Rampal. I'm like, what the heck is this movie? Why have I not heard of this? And it's been playing since July till the release of the movie in our theaters.
Yeah.
Like in every Indian movie that we go to. So I was personally extremely hyped for this film. But again, I didn't want to set my expectations too high. So I went in kind of just expecting, I guess, like good results, but like not anything too crazy. But honestly, I was blown away by the film, blown away by Ranveer Singh's performance, blown away by Akshay Khanna's performance. And I was skeptical about the 3.5 hour runtime. Not once did I get up from the film. I think I got up maybe once actually just to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it was during one of the
Which
songs.
is a big deal for him
Yeah.
because he at least would have gone thrice
Yeah.
if it was any other movie.
Yeah. So
I loved it too. I tried to manage my expectations, but I was not able to because the whole cast is like the people that I've loved watching up until now, crazy filmography. So I was super excited, and I appropriately excited, I would say, after watching it because it blew my mind away. Everything about the movie. I don't even think I have any negatives, to be honest, because we actually did a similar video with 2025 movies,
correct, yeah.
and both of us had Dhurandhar at
number one.
number
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Both of us, yeah. Which is crazy.
So we loved it.
Yeah.
I can go. Let me unmute myself. Yeah, I definitely liked the movie too. I think I might have liked it the least out of the four so far. Actually, no, I think Ankit's liked it a bit less than me, but I still really liked it. What's the positives? Because I guess you guys covered a good amount of it. I think for me, it felt like an actual spy movie because especially compared to what YRF has been doing,
Mhm.
with like the bikinis and duet sequences, like in a different
Exactly.
country.
Jetpacks,
Yeah.
Yeah, with jetpacks and random stuff like ice skating with
random
bombs.
animals crawling around.
Yeah. for Dick in Japan. Like, oh my God, there was just so much. YRF is awful, and I think there's only a few Bollywood spy movies that I really like Agent Vinod comes to mind, Baby, Razi. So I felt that this was a very realistic portrayal of what it's like for a spy to be in that situation. And Ranveer too, the characters all behaved. I said this on our short review. Everyone behaved with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Arjun Rampal and Madhavan, they're not in there for too long, but they
Yeah.
do the extreme justice to their roles and set up for part two. Even Ranveer's not like he gets his ass kicked a lot in this movie. I mean, the first scene, right? Like it's very
It's
like
all, yeah.
it takes you by surprise. This first introduction scene, you're like, oh shit, like they already went there, right?
Yeah.
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 They're
Exactly.
exploring like Balochi, yeah, like that stuff. So they have no holds barred. And what I like is they weren't scared to show violence and they weren't scared to show the raw nature of all these characters, which was good. So extremely wonderful world building, start to finish, strong characters, and it felt like an actual spy movie, which is so rare to get from any industry nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, no,
That's
definitely,
so true.
definitely.
And the songs, they're all bangers. Like I think the
They're
soundtrack is just
so
yeah,
good. They're
yeah.
so good because I think recently we've had this like culture of like remaking and
Mm,
repurposing old songs, but this was done in such a tasteful manner. Like all the songs are now like a part of my daily
yeah.
song rotation, which is so rare because every song is better than the other. I felt like, other than I think Shararat was the weakest song for me personally, but even that is not a bad song.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
I
Yeah.
love
but
yeah.
most songs I felt like the background score has so much to do with why I love the movie as much as I did. And I love that every background score song is also a song in itself, so you can even listen to
Yeah.
Yeah.
The song is actually
it.
how I found out about the movie. I this was like I don't know
Oh,
when the teaser must have already came out, but for some reason the Dhurandhar like title track was recommended to me like on YouTube or something, and I was like, "What is this?" And I clicked on it, and the song is a banger. Like that's my favorite song of the whole album,
Oh,
right?
so
they
And
did
that's
such
when
a
I
good job.
was
Like,
yeah, and that's when I was introduced to it. I was like, "Oh wait, I didn't even know this movie was coming out. I don't know what this was." I saw the teaser right after that, and the teaser looked crazy. So like that's when I first realized. So the song was the way that I was introduced to the movie.
very cool.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you guys said. Other than that, I think one of my positives was that even though it was 3.5 hours, it felt like every single scene was like necessary and important. It wasn't like there was some random like comedy track or some random like action scene that has nothing to do with it. It was like it was moving in one direction, Ranveer Singh's character. Okay, you know what? This might be a long movie, but this is all how he is undercover, gains the people's trust and goes. So I thought they used that 3.5 hours like really effectively. I think even in the second, like obviously the second part hasn't come yet, but I think in there it'll be even more effective because you've seen all this build up and it's like, okay, now it's time to actually like act on that. So I think other than what you guys said, like I really like that aspect of the movie.
For sure. I also, one thing I didn't mention just now was the action scenes. Specifically, there's an action scene where they're going after, I think, Akshay Khanna's father, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
And that whole scene where they put that guy in like the boiling soup and like they drag some guy through the alley by bike, like all those scenes were just shots. I've never seen anything like shot that well in Bollywood, to that caliber. So
Yeah.
that really, I think, impressed me a lot.
Yeah, like the whole POV was sort of like you're in the rickshaw with them. It's filmed in that way, and it was just so refreshing and new and cool, that you're like fully engaged. Because I wouldn't necessarily pay attention to action that much usually, but it's done in a very like unique, like you can appreciate the cinematograph graphers. I can never say that word.
Cinematography.
Yeah, you can appreciate them, what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, also in that scene that you're talking about, like when Akshay Khanna's like bashing his head in with that
Ah,
like weight thing. Usually like those what do you call it? like those practical effects are not usually done well. Like you know
Mhm.
it's fake or it's like CGI blood or the blood looks fake or whatever. But that looked super realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like too realistic in a way that you have to like look away. Like that's how like
Yeah.
realistic it
Yeah.
looked. Which I
Yeah.
also appreciate. Like it happens not only in that scene, but there's like a lot of scenes where they show like body parts getting like crushed or whatever that are all like super realistic, which is cool. Like it's done well.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it's done for shock value, honestly. It
Yeah.
felt like it was in need of the story very much. And even the gore and violence, I felt like for me, that it was done in a very tasteful manner. And it was only there where the filmmaker wants you to feel slightly uncomfortable because, it's based on so many things that have actually happened. Like maybe it's not, the sequence of events may not be true, but it's based on real things that went down. So I felt like the gore, the violence was very strategically placed in the movie where it's supposed to be and in a very tasteful manner. So it didn't feel out of place and forced, like just for shock value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
like that.
There was a purpose
Yeah.
to why it was there. Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
one of my favorite scenes in the movie, it's not even a scene, it's just they show you the call logs, right? The screen turns red. And that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when we said it's real events, and they even show like those the terrorists running into the fort and killing the
Yeah.
police officers. Like you see the real footage, but that was very powerful because the
Yeah.
red screen, the transcripts, and then Ranveer's face in that room when
Yeah.
everyone's like, Allahu Akbar, like everyone's doing like the Zindabad.
Yeah.
He's not playing
Having
it
to
cool.
like
Yeah,
stand with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's panicking, anxious, and he was brilliant in that scene. Like,
Yeah, he's been doing usually roles that are so loud
yeah,
and just I don't know, I felt like in this film he was kind of like I mean, he was playing a henchman basically, and it's
yeah,
so subdued that it was kind of unexpected to be honest. Like I think going into this film, because of the last couple films that he's done, I was expecting just some like crazy out of the box character, but it's actually quite subdued, and I think that impressed me more than anything because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, because as a person also, that just goes to show how amazing of an artist he is, because he's such a loud person as well, like naturally. And for him to act as this like so subdued and calmer personality, we've seen that before with Lutera. But it's just because of how he is, you forget that how good of an artist he is, honestly. Like for me, I know like Akshay and Khanna came out of the movie like as it being his moment, but it did not for me take away from how amazing Ranveer Singh was as well, and
Yeah,
all the other people that were in the movie for that matter.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
it's also like cool of him to kind of take the back seat on this one in a way. You can say that the villains kind of shined more in this one, like Akshay Khanna and Arjun Rampal and all those other supporting characters are all definitely given more writing and more dialogue and everything like that. He's just kind of there in a lot of the scenes, and it's cool that he even was okay with that, because a star like him could be like, "Hey, come on, I'm not saying anything here. Like, I should say something like crazy or whatever." But it was cool that he accepted it and went with it, and he trusted the process, and it came out a great product. So
I think the reason for that is the second part is gonna focus more
yeah, more
on
on
him.
him. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure, and also I've always noticed that any most of his co-actors always praise him for being like open to share screen time and like share his skills and experiences. At least, I mean, I know a lot of it is also PR, but like as far as I've heard, like most people praise him for that, that he is a part of the bigger picture. He's more focused on how the movie does as a whole,
Yeah.
more than how he comes across or how he does in a movie, which I felt the same way as you did about him in this movie. But I'm sure that the next is gonna focus more on his dynamic with Madhavan, uh, and how he got here, basically. So I'm
Yeah,
really excited for that because I think their dynamic will be so interesting to watch on screen.
Yeah, I think like also before we watch this movie, I was under the impression that Arjun Rampal was gonna have that moment that Akshay Khanna had. Um, and when after watching the film, I realized like his role is significantly shorter. But I think what we felt about Akshay Khanna is what we'll feel about Arjun Rampal in the second
I
film. I
think
think it's
so.
setting him up to be that big bad
The main
role.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main villain. And I honestly I don't know if you guys have seen Arjun Rampal's like previous works, but he has some amazing films.
Yeah.
Even though he started out as a model,
Yeah.
his journey as an actor is really incredible. So yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah,
Oh, go
it
ahead.
was good. No, no. Yeah, were you gonna say something, Ankit? You unmuted.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about how like his subdued acting in this role also makes sense because he's a spy, right? So it's like you gotta stay out of trouble. But I don't know if it was somebody
Yes.
else, like the direction that they would have taken it was like they beat a guy and he goes like flying like 100 feet. Like it's like the fact that he is like in undercover and he's able to play to his role, right? Like other actors wouldn't have been like give me this like Moss moment to do this and that. So I think that like
Yeah.
the directing, the acting, the writing, all that makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I straight up thought going into it, I'm like, okay, he's just trying to compete with Ranbir Kapoor, and this is going to be like another animal. And as soon as I walked out of the theater, I'm like, no, this is a completely different thing. And yeah, it's not at
Oh,
all the same thing.
it's a way more well-written film than Animal. But even
Oh
the
yeah,
action, like I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but the action is also, for the most part, I thought very realistic. Like even at the end when he kind of like, comes out from being a spy and starts going against like Akshay Khanna and everyone, he was still getting beat up. He did not just become like some mass hero and
for sure.
kill them within a second or whatever. Or like, yeah, one punch, they go flying 10 feet or whatever. He was still like struggling to defeat that one big guy. I forgot his name, but him, and then also even with Akshay Khanna, it took him a minute to kind of like finally defeat him.
Yeah,
So I like the action, and I love that car scene at the end too,
that was
like where they finally play that track, the title track, and then he reveals himself as not actually part of Akshay Khanna's crew. I love that stuff too. So the whole climax, I loved it.
It was too good.
yeah. What did
Yeah.
you guys think of Sanjay Dutt? I know we didn't really talk about him too
Dude,
much.
I actually found him to be refreshing in this one. So Sanjay Dutt has been doing a lot of South films recently, which I've been seeing him in, and they've all been terrible characters, not his fault. But they've all been terrible characters. I honestly got like annoyed at like seeing him in all these like stupid roles. But in this one, I found him to be refreshing. He was a cop, but he was like a kind of like a gray character also, like not like a good cop, obviously, but he was trying to do the right thing in a society that was bad. So I liked his role. He wasn't just a generic villain that he always plays. There was some depth to his character, so I liked it. I liked seeing him in that role.
Yeah, I agree. I also, yeah, I've seen KGF too, and all these Leo where he plays like the villain. I'm like, what are these roles? And even not even in that, even in Hindi films as well, he's just not doing he's just sleepwalking
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And so it was really refreshing. I was most skeptical about him in this film. Being the weakest performer, but honestly, I think
I was
he
most pleasantly surprised by him as well.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like this character. It was short. I think he he did this is the most Sanjay Dutt role ever. Like this is probably just him as a person. He's just like this, like kind
So
of
it's
like
crazy. The
yeah,
guy that he's based off of, right,
yeah,
is
yeah.
actually a huge Sanjay Dutt fan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it's weird how that worked out.
Yeah.
He unfortunately got assassinated,
Yeah.
like I think in 2014.
Mhm.
But I think his wife came out to the media. Was like, I don't like. She's Pakistani, right? So
Yeah.
she was saying, I don't like. They didn't get our permission to like make this character. And she was saying he's actually a huge He was a huge Sanjay Dutt fan. So that was crazy to hear. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even
He
the
was
casting is bang on. Like I saw so many of those reels on Instagram where they're showing the real versus real people, and it is bang on for most characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even like one person we didn't talk about, was Rakesh Bedi. I think he played Yelena's dad. Like he was really good because he was just really good as like the conniving, like the cunning. He like
Yeah,
on the surface looks like a teddy bear who's not gonna do any harm, but he's like a cunning dude who at the end like Ranveer's master plan all works out, and he's very entertaining to watch because you know he's not to be trusted, and he's just like
yeah,
a sketchy guy. So it's nice to him and Sanjay. That scenes were really funny, and he was actually really funny too. Whenever he got like a phone call or something,
Yeah.
and Sara Arjun was she was fine. I saw a lot of people say like, "Oh, what a great debut." I thought she was. It's just a role. Like she was good in what she was given, and I saw a lot of backlash. But the point is, she's an impressionable young person, and that is why he trapped her. So it was
yeah,
written wasn't written to be vulgar. Like they don't even kiss in the movie. Like every time I think they were, he just puts like their heads together. So it
yeah.
was a very decent decision taken by the filmmakers. So nothing intimate, and it was shown very like properly. And she's young because otherwise she wouldn't be so impressionable, right? So that's the point
Yeah.
that I think a lot of people
Yeah, that
forgot.
age
It's
gap
not like
that's
Karthik
there.
Aryan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Oh my God, yeah. The age gap though was definitely necessary for
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, given that she was supposed to be an impressionable age.
Yeah, that's exactly how we felt about that as well. I mean, I do see a point, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. It could
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been played by a female that was slightly older, because given their real
definitely.
ages and given that how the audience thinks in India, I get the point, but it's not that deep in my eyes, because I think that it was purposefully done in a way that, again, as I was saying about the violence part as well, it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, is what I felt. Slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They also reference the age gap in the movie itself. Like, is it her
Exactly.
dad or someone calls him out? They're like, you should be
Exactly.
ashamed that you're 30 and you're trapping like a 18-year-old or whatever. I think it's her
Exactly.
dad that calls him out. Yeah.
It's
So
her dad. He
that
says
was
that.
also a nice touch, like that they referenced it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
their relationship was also good because it shows the extents that Ranveer's character is willing to go. Like he's willing to like, take this whole relationship, like manipulate her feelings and then all that just to get to her dad who's gonna do this. So I think it
Yeah.
was really like there was good like a relationship they had on screen, but also as a story device. I thought it was a good decision of them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. He Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about it for performances. We said Rampal. I mean, Madhavan was like barely in the movie, but he was fine. He was good. We talked about Dutt, talked about Ranveer. I mean, what a range this guy has, right? Like he's done anything from like Ban Baja to Kilji to this, to
Yeah.
Simba. So all like different characters. So he's good. And then I know we talked lightly touched on like Akshay Khanna, but I had only seen so I'm not as familiar with his filmography. Like I saw Dil Chahta Hai, obviously. I saw like Ittifaq. I saw a few other movies, and I saw like obviously him and Bismar Khan, Atish. So I know he
Yes.
has like range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is my first time seeing him play. I didn't watch Chava, so I didn't
Yes.
see his villain. Like I know he was a villain earlier this year, but I didn't see it. I didn't get the time to. But he was incredible. He was very good, and he barely did the fighting. Like he was only two scenes where he fought, but he had such menacing aura and he had screen presence and charm that he just carried throughout the movie. And I agree that Ranveer uh was the best actor in the movie, but I think it was tough competition because Akshay Khanna just had so many scenes elevating him, which they'll probably do with Ranveer in part two. But this was
Yeah.
Khanna's movie. This was his
For sure.
movie,
For
honestly.
sure.
He was
And
the
I think
spotlight.
it's going to be
Yeah.
because we're actually huge Akshay Khanna fans. We've
Yeah.
watched a lot of movies with him, from serious roles to crazy comic timing roles. Like
Mhm.
he's just like he has crazy range, and I knew he was gonna be fantastic in this one from the trailer itself. And
Yeah.
we watched Java, so for us, like, it began with an amazing Akshay Khanna performance. He like kind of becomes the person he's playing. It's like even in Aurangzeb, like now I can't imagine Aurangzeb with not his face on,
Yeah.
so it's like he really becomes the character. So I was like expecting him to be amazing, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like just because of the social media hype, like it didn't take away from me anything from Ranveer Singh's performance. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that they were meant to be on the same comparison plane anyways, because the roles are so different. Like, he's this flamboyant gangster, like god for the local masses kind of a character, supposed to be a bit more loud, and this guy, as Ankit said, is supposed to be low key because he's a spy, and he's here on a mission. So personally, I didn't see why there would be a comparison,
Yeah.
because they both did their got their assignment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
like, yeah, she said like, actually, I personally think Akshay Khanna is like one of the funniest
Yeah,
actors
too
that
funny.
Bollywood has.
Yeah,
Some of his films like Halchal,
yeah,
Hangama,
highly
like if
recommend.
you guys haven't seen those movies, hilarious movies,
Yeah,
especially his comic timing. Um, I I don't know if you guys saw The Animal, but I think Bobby
Yeah.
Deol a moment, even though his role was like so short.
yeah,
And to be honest, I felt like he was like barely in the film.
yeah, 5 minutes.
But it's like almost like a pattern, kind of like the actors that used to be big in the early 2000s are now kind of like popping off with these crazy roles that they get. It's just interesting to see. But yeah, I agree that Akshay Khanna, this is Akshay Khanna's film for sure, just as much as it's Ranveer Singh's.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not as well versed in his filmography. I've only seen Dil Chahta Hai, and then saw him again in this. But my favorite scene of his is actually like in the very beginning when his son dies and he comes into the
Yeah,
hospital. That was insane. Like that was some top tier acting. I loved him in that. It's very easy. It's like a thin line when you are acting in like a death scene. You could overdo it very easily, but I think the way he did it was very, very well done. And that whole scene in general, like when his wife comes into everything, he crushed like every single moment in that scene. Yeah, he was incredible in the movie throughout. I loved him.
Yeah. He, yeah, I mean, they all acted so well. One of my favorite scenes is even in the end, like I said, Ranveer's a regular person. I love like he writes. So there's like two scenes in the end that I thought like they ended on a great note. Is when he's writing in the notebook, like he's crossing off the names, and it's just one of the many. But like he's shaking in that scene. He's not like coming in with pride. Oh, I killed him. Oh, I'm the
yeah,
guy. Like I'm him. Like he is nervous. He is scared as hell. He is like he killed him, but he's still like shaking. He's bruised, and one of the most powerful scenes was Madhavan talking about Operation Dhurandhar at the end, the voiceover, because we see everyone's
yeah.
name. And then they reveal
Yeah.
his actual name. Was it Jaskiran or Jaskirat or something?
That's
Um,
yes, yeah,
yeah, so and then his little flashback and then the setup for part two, I thought it ended on a very powerful note.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
it gave us curiosity. We're like, oh yeah, this guy has a backstory. He's literally a criminal on death row. I wondered what he did because I thought he was a spy. I didn't realize this guy was literally going to be killed. I didn't see that coming. So for him, it was either have a second shot at life or die.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, all the stuff with oh, go ahead. Sorry.
go for it. Go for it.
I was just gonna say all the stuff with his parents and stuff too that they would intercut between like throughout the whole movie. Or I
Mhm.
assume there's parents, but I don't know who they are. But like people in his village that I guess committed suicide or something must have happened. They definitely generate that curiosity of trying to figure out what happened to him or what led him to come down on this path. Because essentially like their operation, the run there is to find someone that has nothing to live for, essentially. So you definitely know that this is a guy that literally has nothing to live for anymore. So I'm definitely interested in seeing like, that whole journey that he goes through.
Yeah, and I want to see Madhavan have a little bit more screen time too
yeah,
in the second, which I'm sure he'll get in the second one. I
Yeah.
loved his first scene though, like in the
yeah,
film,
so powerful.
like that first scene where he gets onto the plane in Kandahar sets the tone for the entire film,
Yeah,
like right from the start.
yeah,
Like you know, like how serious this film is going to be, and what sorts of topics they're going to discuss. So, yeah, I just wish I saw a little bit more of our Madhavan, but yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they bring him back at very important points of the film. Like they bring him back
Yes.
when they show that attack at the Parliament House, I think, in the beginning, and then they bring him back again with the Mumbai attacks. So they bring him back like at very important points of the film to kind of narrate or show the audience reaction in a way, like through him, which I liked a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
No, it was really good. Yeah, and I think we touched on pretty much like I think we complimented the movie as high as we can, right? So
Yeah.
I'm I'm thinking I'm like I think we got all of it. So do we want to move on to like maybe things that we didn't like or found lacking? I know that this might be a lot
Yeah.
shorter complaint
Yeah,
side,
that's
but I
true.
guess yeah, I can start. My only complaint was the runtime. Like I know 3 hours and 30 minutes is a lot, but there was a lot of scenes that I felt um like could have maybe been cut. Like I can't off the top of my head think, but there was just some scenes like Sanjay Dutt's entry I thought was really long. Like each character had a very, very long entrance scene. Especially Sanjay Dutt's. I was just like this was near the intermission.
Yeah.
And it was a fun scene, but I was like, that was almost like 10 minutes, just him walking in slow-mo and like killing those guys. Um, and there was just a lot of like scenes, even Ranveer and the henchmen just doing side quests, kind of missions, all important for him to blend in with the world, right? But I thought at that runtime it could have been cut. I think 3 hours would have been ideal. Maybe like Shararat, like shorten that song or make that scene a bit shorter, stuff like that.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I think you guys froze up for
Oh
a
yeah,
second,
you
but
guys
you're
froze
back
a
now.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah, we heard everything though.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. No. One of my main negatives is also runtime. I definitely thought it could have been shorter. There were a lot of story points also that were very predictable. That was all. This is like part two of like the very bigger problem that it was a longer film than it needed to be. But part two of that is that a lot of the story points, like if you break it down, like if you remove all the layers at the core, it's just a guy that's trying to infiltrate a gang and rise to the top. That's essentially what the basic story is. Then you add in like all the stuff like, oh, it's in Pakistan. You add in like all the conflict with India and all that stuff. But for that basic story point, I don't think you need this long to establish, like, for example, you have to establish him in the gang. You have to show his rise. You have to show how he kills the boss. Very basic stuff that you've seen in like many other movies, right? Like Pushpa comes to mind, for example, like a popular South Indian film. Same thing. So it's just, I think you could have achieved that a little bit shorter than you did in this. And some of the scenes also do kind of go on a little bit longer than they should have been. They could have easily been cut by a minute here, a minute there, which would obviously in a 3 hour film reduce it by at least like 15 minutes or so if you did that. So yeah, that's like my biggest problem. And then the other stuff like I'll kind of touch on, but they're kind of like nitpicks. They're not anything crazy, but this was my biggest problem of the whole film. I
Mhm.
think for the storyline that they had, it just did not need to be that long.
Yeah, I felt that more. Oh, are you?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, I felt that, so I think I only had like three complaints, but I think they were like big things for me was like what Sai and Akil said was about the pacing. Like I understand each scene was important, but I felt it more in the first half because there was such little like second half he's in the gang and all that stuff, but the first half he's like going to Pakistan, getting like in the gang. So it was a little bit like, okay, I understand he's gonna build it up, but I'm like, okay, can they kind of like let it go like faster a bit? So I think I really felt that in the first half. Second half, then it felt like there was a trajectory like roller coaster, but that was there. And then I felt like the climax, like I know like it was really powerful, but when I saw that guy like come up and get shot 300 times and then still kill like 30 people and then get out the grenades, like I only had that nitpick because the rest of the movie is so realistic that this movie, like that scene fell out of like KGF, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Like, do y'all switch channels or something? Like, what's going on? Like it was so out of the blue, and then like that kind of ruined it for me. And then like even with Akshay Khanna, I know he's like menacing, but I didn't realize he was supposed to be like such a powerful character that even Ranveer Singh had trouble with. I was like, he's got to be like max 160 pounds. Like I don't know if he's that, but like stuff like that. Like I know it's very minor critiques, but that was like what kind of ruined a little bit of the climax for me. And I think I watched it like a week or two later, like because I saw the reels and like it was like every second reel was like the intro scene where like he's doing this dancing and they're like best movie of the year or whatever. So I already had like 10 out of 10 like expectations and stuff. So when the first two like complaints came in, I feel like that made me more like, okay, you know what? I really like this movie. And I'm like greatest movie of all time. Like, like the standards I had was like so high versus like if I just walked in first day without like the hype, I feel like I would have been much like more satisfied.
For sure.
Yeah, I do agree that the runtime was a little long. But I feel like we have been, like, we as in the audiences, right? People that are into cinema have been praying for cinema to come back. And I grew up watching like longer movies, like this would be the normal length of like movies not very long ago. And I feel like us as a generation do not have an attention span anymore. So like, which is why I felt like people thought that the movie was long, but I think this movie has an added layer of like the basic story is pretty basic, but like it has an added layer of many things that they have discussed in the movie, many issues that they have touched, which is why the length felt justified to me. I do agree though, many scenes could have been cut. Maybe we could have gotten more scenes from Maddie. But I see why the filmmaker has gone for a longer movie, because it's a part of a bigger picture. Basically, like it felt like an elevated Gangs of Wasseypur to me, like watching it. And I see why it's long, and I at no point was bored or felt the need to like pick up my phone, which I felt like is rare nowadays, which is why I can appreciate that they were able to keep me engaged for 3.5 hours, even though it was a longer movie. And I don't know why I'm still speaking highly of this movie in the negatives part, but I just wanted to touch that. And like, because you guys all had this similar complaint from the movie. For me, I think the club scene felt unrealistic, and it's the same thing that Ankit said. Like the rest of the movie was, they managed to keep it so realistic, but then there were like two, three things in there where I'm like, okay, Aditya, I don't know why you did that, you know? So I do agree with that. And I felt like the club scene felt unrealistic for where the movie is situated. And that would be my one thing I had from the movie. And like, I wanted to see more of Maddie and Arjun Rampal, but I hope that in the second part, I won't be left like wanting to watch more from them.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So I agree with actually Ankit. Like the length of the film was definitely like quite long. But so right before watching this movie, we watched Dhanush's movie with Kriti Sanon. I got up how many times? Like three
Three
times, and
times.
that movie was only like 2.5 hours. So I clearly was not as engaged with that film as I was with this film. Um, but yeah, surprisingly, I think for the most part, like it was engaging for that 3.5 hours. For me, where things started to drag off was definitely the fight scene between Akshay Khanna, Sanjay Dutt, and then Ranveer Singh and that henchman. I'm like, okay, this is like template Bollywood final action sequence, which I felt like they definitely could have trimmed out. And I'm like thinking in my head, obviously, like couple things. This is me just nitpicking, but like, why the hell is there a fire hydrant in the jungle? And like that doesn't make any sense. And then Akshay Khan is like holding him by the neck in the scene, but then they all pick up guns and like they're shooting away. I'm like, wait, this could have been like there's certain things that weren't thought out completely, which I think for a film of this caliber they could have definitely put a little bit more thought into that. And then yeah, I guess I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but I there's been a lot of discourse about the political messaging of the film. Obviously, one side is like extremely upset about certain message that has been displayed in this film. I think for me, there's a lot of power in showing, not telling, and I feel like towards the end of the film, it does a lot of telling and less showing. So the first like 70 to 80% of the movie is showing, like with those flashbacks, very powerful scenes, like kind of showing the realistic footage along with the parallel movie. Um, And then towards the end, you have Madhavan just like kind of like saying his dialogue, and I'm like, okay, that took away from like everything we just saw. So yeah, I mean, again, I know that's like a hot topic, so that was just my take. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Akil. But I completely agree with you, Aishan, like about that because one of my other nitpicks was like when they do show like I know like this got popular and stuff, but when they do show like the red screen and start describing everything that happened, play the real recordings and stuff, it's cool and stuff, but like my personally don't like when the movie kind of comes out of the movie and starts whether it be preaching other things or whether it be showing like real facts, all of that. I don't like that. I like it integrated in as they have done. They've done a good job with that. They showed like the other attack, integrated it in perfectly into the movie. It fits, and they even mixed in a live footage, right? When that attack happened. Great. It's all good stuff. But I just don't like when they like stop the movie and they're like, all right, now like let's, look at the real facts here and they like stop the movie essentially and do that. I just don't like that. And then they kind of like bounced back with again showing Madhavan's reaction to that and what was happening and him listening to that recording, which they could have just done from the beginning. I don't know. I mean, obviously they wanted to make it a statement, so they did what they did. But I just like it when they do things like, for example, Madhavan listening to the actual recordings instead of stopping the movie and making the viewers like come out of the movie and pay attention to this now. Small nitpick, but I personally don't like that. I like it when it's more like combined into the movie, like yeah, like showing, not telling. So that was another nitpick of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I the political thing, I mean, I personally don't know the back. I guess you guys studied a bit more about backstory, or maybe you just know it. I don't know any of the characters' actual backstories. I went into it fully blind. I actually didn't even watch the trailer. I just saw the teaser. And the teaser was just action shots. So the only thing I will say is, as someone who has zero background knowledge coming into this, I don't think they depicted Pakistan as whole country as like a negative light. They clearly showed that there are bad eggs, and this gang is one of them, right? I don't think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like a full anti-Pakistan
I
movie.
agree.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, without going too much into the politics of it, I would say that it's all about perspective.
mhm.
And I think the motto of making this movie, the target audience is patriotic people that have the same ideology as a united country should have, based on when you're surrounded by almost like very hostile situation, like all the neighbors have a hostile relationship with India. So the target audience for this is not people that would think for the other side. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
motto of the movie is to kind of ignite this patriotism amongst the youth. And I am definitely the target audience for it, because I feel like the red screen kind of, for a person that was in India when all of that was going down, it touched very differently than how it would affect Sai. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like for me it felt like a very necessary part of the movie, and I thought that it was integrated beautifully into an imaginary story that the filmmaker wanted to say, using actual factual events that have happened. So I really enjoyed it. Like I got the point basically.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I know it's an
Uh,
unpopular take because obviously like a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah, yeah. No, I
like that
totally
part of
agree. Like
it.
I'm surrounded by people
Yeah.
that also it didn't hit home, but there is a chunk of people for whom it would hit
Hit
home,
home.
and
Yeah.
like kind of like they would see the purpose of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also agree with you guys, but I also agree with Sai because I think that was such a powerful scene that inside the audience, like you should like they'll already have that hatred towards these characters because they're watching and like laughing. But like by the end, it's like, oh hey guys, did you forget that these guys are bad? Like they're bad by the way. And it's like, well, we kind
Yeah.
of got that from that scene already. So I felt like
Yeah.
by the end, like I understand the purpose that they're trying to go for, but the heavy like in your faceness of like, by the way,
But
these
I
are
feel
good.
like they also did a good job about showing how India has been neglectful and what India does wrong, and how there's so much corruption amongst India, which is why I felt like they didn't shy away from showing the negatives of our own country, where Madhavan itself says that an Indian is an Indian's biggest enemy. So I feel like it was not very like black and white. They did a good job in showing the negatives of our own country as well, which is why it didn't felt one-sided to me. But I do see your guys' point as well.
Yeah, I think it did a great job of actually showing gray areas for sure. Definitely, like Venkat said, about showing not every Pakistan is a bad person in this film. There are some bad eggs, and obviously the world knows that there's bad eggs everywhere. So, yeah, I think this was the one film. It's definitely not black and white. It definitely leans more gray, which is why I liked it so much more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, compared to some of the other Bollywood stuff that's come out,
Yeah.
this handles it a lot better.
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember we saw Fighter in the theater and we were like, dude, what
Oh
are they?
Yeah,
Like,
that was
my
ridiculous.
God, what
That
was
was
that?
yeah, we hated it and it was like such blatant like it's like the meme where it's like whenever a Pakistan guy comes on a Muslim person comes in a Bollywood movie, it's like that
Yeah, yeah,
BGM
the
that
sound.
plays.
yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
literally like that's what Fighter was, and I think we're so used to seeing that shit even in like Patan and other movies.
yeah,
So it's like it was nice to just see, and they focused it on a very small like the part of Pakistan, that village, that area. So it wasn't just like everyone, and even that room, it's not like the whole country of Pakistan was cheering during the attack in that room. It was more like they just showed the evil people
exactly.
who
It's a group of
orchestrated.
people. Yeah,
Yes. So
correct.
I thought they did well. And honestly, like I think with movies, it's you can't always bring external things into it because at the end of the day, you can always say it's just a work. So it's hard to
Exactly.
even have that discussion because does that affect its moviness? Like not really. People
Yeah,
liked Animal even though the characters were questionable, right? And it's
exactly. Yeah.
um Kabir Singh, stuff like that. So you have to take you know, the
I
bigger
guess
message
how
away.
we watch films is like we watch it based on entertainment.
Yeah.
So
Exactly
like
same.
we know the political situation, we have our own opinions about it,
Yeah.
but we don't let that affect our judgment of the film. If it's entertaining, it's
100%.
entertaining.
Yeah.
If it's not,
Yep.
it's not,
Yeah.
And that's basically how we look at it.
100%.
Yeah. Same for
agreed.
us. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. I think that
All
was
right,
the only
yeah.
negatives that I had.
Yeah, that's like the only negatives I had too. I think just that it was long and then like some of the stuff was too much telling, not showing, but that
Yeah.
was really it. Oh, I do have like one, I guess, like fear going into the next part.
What?
Like when they showed like that little tidbit at the end of what's to come, like they showed like flashes of scenes from part two. There were some scenes in there that looked like it could have been repetitive and may not have the same impact. Basically, of like Ranveer finally taking the top dog seat, like he becomes the leader of the gang. I think there's like a particular snippet of him like going back to that place, I think Balochistan, to like where they're like dancing around him and stuff. So there's it seems like there's like we're gonna see him in the Akshay Khanna role, and they might do the same thing again, but with Ranveer this time. So I just hope that they don't like drag that stuff out and make it too repetitive, whether it
Yeah.
be the same scenes or scenarios. I hope that they do something different with that stuff.
I think he's gonna have, I think for the second one, they're gonna go back and forth between his past and what's going on in the present. So it'll still be interesting because he has a fully different physical appearance for the past and the second half. He's more like bulk for the second one, and the previous,
Yeah.
it's like his prison,
It's like,
post
it looks
prison.
like he's from Gully Boy,
Yeah,
straight
from
up.
Gully Boy,
Yeah,
literally. So
yeah.
it's like really going to be interesting to see the contrast between the who he is now and how he got here. So I'm
Yeah.
still excited, but yeah, I agree. I hope it doesn't get like repetitive and
Yeah. And
uh,
also like the stuff where they showed him like in the suits and everything, like I just hope it doesn't become too KGFied or like too Pushpa 2ified, where he's just going around like shooting people up and not giving a shit because he's now at like, top of the whatever ladder. So I hope they kind of keep the storytelling in check still and don't get too carried away with the mossiness of everything. So that's also like another fear of it. But yeah, other than those two
Yeah,
points, like
I
I'm
think
super excited for the second part.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it was that they shot everything as one entire film. So with like Pushpa, right? They shot the first film, released it,
there was a break.
and then looked at what worked, what didn't work, and they're like, what can we capitalize? And then a couple years later, the second one released.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has such a short gap because they've already filmed everything. So whatever didn't work in the film, oh well, it's gonna definitely
Right.
maybe take it out in the second one, but the majority of it is just filmed
Yeah, the
already.
pacing will be same.
Same, yeah.
That's true.
I think
That's
it's a
true. Yeah.
genius move, to be honest. Like we haven't seen anything like this, especially in like an OTT environment where they release such a big film, and then 6 months later you have the second part.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be so good.
yeah, I think financially, I think this is kind of a trendsetter, and we're gonna see this with other films
For
moving
sure,
forward.
for sure.
Yeah. No, that's better than announcing a part two and it never comes out. We've seen that a lot in a lot of the South
Mhm.
films that are coming out recently. They announce a part two at the end, but part one itself is horrible, so you know it's not going to come out.
Yeah,
But yeah, this
I heard
is
about Raja Saab
Rajasab,
getting a
yeah, the latest one. Take the bullet, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that unfortunately in Chicago. Like me and my friend is a big Prabhas fan, and I used to like him too. I'm more of a fan of like the actual movie these days. Like it's like
Yeah.
whatever has a good story, and Prabhas is just a really nice guy. He says yes to anyone who gives him food, I feel like. So or who eats his food. So we watched it and it was really bad. And the setup for the sequel also doesn't even make sense. It just kind of randomly happens and we're like, oh, what the like what the fuck? We didn't even ask for the first one. So I don't know why there's but yeah, I think like you guys said, shot at once is the best way to make sure that shit doesn't go off the wall. And honestly, I felt a little misled. This is kind of annoying because the trailer had a lot of part two in it. Like the official trailer they released, I was like,
Yeah.
wait, when is Ranveer gonna get on that chair, smoke that cigar, and start shooting people and fighting? So I think by releasing that trailer, I was actually because I did see the now I'm thinking about it, I saw the trailer going in. I think
Yeah.
just a day before the movie. So I actually did see it. And I remember thinking, where the hell are like 2 minutes of this trailer gone? Right. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't show that in the trailer
Yeah,
because it
or at
misled.
least they just released the trailer for whatever was in the first one. Because I
Yeah.
said the same thing. I came into the movie expecting it to be Arjun Rampal's film, because in the trailer there's a whole duel scene
Mhm.
between Ranveer Singh
Yes.
and Arjun Rampal where he has like a buzz cut,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, he's gonna steal the show for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, that fight scene didn't even happen. What the heck? It's gonna
Yeah.
be in the second part.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was it. Like it's been a long time since we've seen a spy movie done tastefully, with fleshed out characters, with good songs, and just like everyone left the theater at the least like at least interested, right? Like I don't think you can't call this a bad movie. I think that's just objectively false.
Yeah.
Because the acting, music, filming, storytelling is all top notch. So you can have your
For sure.
opinions, but yeah, it is probably the best thing Bollywood has come out with in a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see
For
part two
sure.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I think.
Should we, oh yeah, should we do our ratings? That's the last thing that, and then Ankith, you can give your little blurb and maybe start the rating process. And we can go around.
Yeah, that works. So I think one of the things that this movie, like I said before, like the hype, and then also seeing that there was like I got flashbacks of Pushpa and KGF as well because of that similar like getting up in the gang and all that. So I think I really like this movie. I think I'd say it was like a 7.58 for me. I think I might be the lowest in here, but that was just basically how I felt about it. I think everything was technically done well, but just my own like personal like biases I had because of those portions got me there.
Yeah, I can go next because mine's very similar. I give it a solid eight. I enjoyed it. Very good time at the movies. Very good storytelling. Very good characters. Very good world building. Just a tad too long and a little bit of telling, not showing, which brought it down to an eight for me. But still, very solid. I would recommend it to anyone that is like on the fence about watching it or not. Yeah, that's my quick thoughts and rating.
Yeah, you guys, you guys can go ahead. I'll give mine at the very end.
Okay, so I am gonna give it a 9 because I rated it 4.5 out of 5 when we did the. Or did I give it a 5?
I think you gave it a 5. I
Yeah,
think you
so
gave
I'm
it a
gonna give it
10.
a 9, 9.5. I really, really, really enjoyed the movie, and the length didn't bother me as much. And I am a Ranveer Singh, hardcore Ranveer Singh fan. So I've been waiting for him to take a movie out. So for that itself and for the cast, they get a whole 1 point. So
Yeah.
I love the movie.
Yeah, for me, it was a 9 out of 10 as well. Definitely my favorite movie of the year. I think I listened to your guys' 2025. It was on one of your guys' like top three or something, right?
I was on my, I think both me and Akil had at third place, right?
Yeah,
Third. Okay.
we
In our top
we
four.
had it at third. Yeah.
Mhm.
We yeah, no, we liked it. I just think I don't even know what I think the two movies I put above it I just enjoyed more. But I would give this I think me and Sai have the exact same thoughts about this movie. Like we have different complaints, but I give it an 8 too. Um I think I'm like my attention span is also like I ingest short form media all the time. So it's definitely there, but I do think like if it was 3 hours, I would have been given this like a probably a perfect score. But I'm also at 8. I just think there's small issues here and there, but it's very entertaining. I think there's gonna be like once it comes out, all these people are gonna decode the movie and come up with like videos about things we might have missed. So that'll be fun to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no, I
Ranveer
can't.
is
I think it's coming out next week, right?
Yeah,
On
yeah
Netflix.
something
next
like
week,
that.
I think.
Mhm.
30th, actually, I think.
30th. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm just excited and I love Ranveer. I'm glad people's marked him as like, oh, he's finished after Jaish by like all the movie circus,
Yeah,
83's flop. And I'm like, bro, he's not finished. Like he'll be fine. He's Ranveer Singh.
Rocky Rani was good. He was very good. He was very
Rocky
good in
Irani, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but
yeah.
even somehow
No,
Alia's camp made that her success.
I also like feel like he of all people needed this film.
Yeah.
Like this film was so important to Ranveer Singh and his career. And I'm so happy that it like actually worked really well in his favor. Because yeah, I mean he's always pitted against like Vicky Kaushal, who also had a huge film Chava this year, and then Ranbir Kapoor, who had Animal a couple years ago, and he's gonna have Ramayana now, which is gonna be a huge film. So I feel like he's always pitted against like these huge actors, and so I'm just happy that this one like actually worked for him.
Yeah, doesn't it
very
have
soon.
like the highest grossing Hindi film of all time or something like that? Isn't that like the record it
Yeah,
has?
I think
Yeah,
it's the highest
of all
grossing.
time.
Yeah, I think it's the highest grossing original Hindi
Yeah,
film. Yeah,
Yeah,
of all
original
time.
Hindi
of
film,
all time.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That pretty impressive. Impressive for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy for him and everyone involved. Like Sanjay Dutt needed it too. Like dude can finally maybe get like cooler offers because I hated his role and I think like last Hindi movie I saw him in was one of them was like Shamshera and I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing in this movie?
Yeah.
That we watched Boggy 4.
Ew.
Don't ask us why we
Oh
watched Boggy
God,
4.
why?
That was
Dude, I was telling Aishan before going into the movie, I hope that Sanju has put the glass down for this one. I really hope because this role looks so good. I hope the drinks were less on this one. Like, that's what I was hoping.
yeah.
Because he literally looks, I hate to say it, but he looks drunk in Baggy 4 the whole time. Like that's his
Yeah.
role.
Knowing him,
You
he
know, but in this
probably
one, he
He
was.
probably
actually
was.
felt like he
Yeah.
gave
Yeah.
yeah, it felt like he gave a shit. It felt like he wanted to do this project. It felt like finally somebody has given him a good role, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
liked it
happy.
in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy and I think we summed it up. This was a huge movie, so I'm glad like we set it on top three, but we didn't want to talk about it, and especially you guys coming from like the Bollywood side where you're more familiar. It's like it's the biggest movie that I think has been talked about in years since
Yeah.
Animal, right? So it's good
Yeah.
too. And this one's actually good compared to
Yeah.
that. So it's good too.
Yeah.
Third animal,
Exactly.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good to discuss it with you guys. Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
guys looking forward to anything in 2026?
I'm looking forward to obviously Dhurandhar Part 2. I so I was looking forward to Toxic because I like Yash and I like Gitu Mohandas, but I don't know if that teaser is just supposed to like kind of invoke controversy, or if that's kind of what the movie's like.
Why was it an age bait? That's all I want to
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I hope
It
it's just
felt
for
like an
age bait.
age bait.
I feel like he's been saying he doesn't want to do KGF, but this is
Yeah,
straight up KGF
It
3.
just looks like
Like to me,
KGF on
it's not.
steroids. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know like what other projects. I think
Did you
in
guys watch the teaser for Oh Romeo?
no,
I
I
haven't
haven't
yet.
seen it.
I haven't yet.
I
Watch
love
it.
Shahid.
That's all I'll say. Watch it. That's all I'll say.
You unmuted. You're gonna say something?
Yeah, I watched Oh Romeo. Like I like Shahid and Vishal Bhardwaj's like movies, like
Yeah,
Heather, Kamine. Like I think like their duo always works out. So I'm more excited for that.
Yes.
How'd you
same.
casually forget? Was Rangoon him too?
Rangoon was him too. Yeah, Rangoon was really
That
bad.
Yeah,
swept that
I
under the
didn't
rug.
include it for a reason.
He did
Uh,
mention it for a reason.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's
but Heather was like a solid 10 out of
So
10 for
good.
me. It was great.
So
yeah,
good.
yeah. I I'm excited for I think there's a few projects coming out. I didn't like Animal, but I think like I still found there's to be promise in Kabir Singh and Arjun Reddy, so I hope Spirit. I don't know if that's this year, but I like Prabhas. I hope Spirit. It just looks like Animal Part 2 based on the poster, but if he does something different this time, I'll be seated. Because
Yes.
yeah, I think Spirit has potential, and that's pretty much it in 2026. I'm not fully
Isn't
sure.
Ramayana coming out this year or did they delay it? The
No, I think
Ranveer
it's coming
one.
out, yeah, this year.
Oh, this
Okay,
year then, yeah,
then I would say that for sure too. I think that has like a lot of backing, a lot of budget. I think it's gonna be epic.
I
So I'm
even
looking forward to that.
I always enjoy the actress that's in Ramayana.
Yeah,
Shri
Sai
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 Pallavi.
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 Sai Pallavi.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Sai Pallavi.
yeah.
Yeah,
She's definitely a very good actress, like
yeah.
acting wise. She's
yeah.
good.
I'm
And
excited. And that was a good casting for Sita because she's very Sita-esque.
Yeah, and then Yesh in Robin's role is gonna kill it
So
too.
good.
It's gonna
I'm
be
so
killer, yeah.
excited. He's gonna
Yeah,
be good.
yeah. He should just cap Toxic and focus on this, promoting this, honestly.
So I
Yeah, they,
think in this one, they're doing again, like they're filmed it as one. And so the first one is releasing this year, the second one is releasing next year.
Yeah,
So Yash's role will be actually quite small in the first one. And then
yeah.
in the second
Makes
one, it'll be
sense.
much,
Yeah.
yeah.
for
And then
me
also
the
like you got
oh
Hans
yeah, go ahead.
Zimmer and what's A.R. Rahman. You got A.R. Rahman and Hans Zimmer. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
insane.
the music is gonna be great.
I don't know if there are any SRK fans in this room, but I'm excited for King being an
I'm
SRK fan.
excited for King also. You don't have to be an SRK fan. You can still be excited.
Unfortunately, that teaser was not it
Didn't
for
work
me.
for you.
Did not work. No. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, I loved SRK like back in the day, obviously, but I think since his comeback, I haven't really enjoyed his films. Like I haven't liked Patan. I didn't like Jawan. I know,
What?
but yeah, I know. Because Jawan, dude, I've seen Jawan since I was a kid. Like every
Yeah,
single
because
South
it's
movie has
basically
Jawan.
that director's other films, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He
So
like had
that wasn't
perfect.
anything like crazy for me. And then Patan just the usual wire FBS of the spy thing, I just did not like it. And then all the VFX looked crazy. It was just a shit show for me, in my opinion. But yeah, ever since his comeback, I honestly have not enjoyed his films. And King
Yeah,
looks
he
yeah,
like
went
more of
for
the same.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think it'll be exciting though, because 2025 for us in the South industry was awful. Like Telugu, where what we primarily review, it was one of the worst years for us. So I think we're excited to see. Hopefully, this next year will bring stuff forward, and same with all industries. But yeah, this was a good episode, and we loved we loved getting to hear your guys' thoughts, and because you grew up more with like Akshay Khanna and Rampal and Madhavan. I mean,
Yes.
I guess we grew up with Madhavan a bit, but not really, because we hadn't much money with the movies growing up. So
Yes.
he, like, all these guys were amazing, and it was good to see all these actors who are great actors get their get their damn time on the screen because all of them have
Yep.
been in a string of like kind of disappointing movies. It's good to see all of them get a hit.
Yeah,
So
for sure. No, thank you
Yeah.
guys so
So
much for
thank.
having me.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I wanted
We
to
were gonna
just
say the
thank you
same thing
guys so
anyway.
much.
Just
Yeah, we're gonna say the same thing anyways,
Thanks,
but
guys.
yeah,
It was so
wanted
nice to be here.
yes, go ahead.
That's it.
yeah. Thanks for joining us. I hope we can collaborate more in the future, especially for like big films, like pan-Indian films that we've all watched. I think that our discussion will definitely be nice. So I hope the viewers enjoyed our discussion too. And yeah, we'll definitely work together more in the future. We'll come on to your guys' podcast and so on.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
yeah, that sounds good, guys. Hope you have a wonderful start of the week. Tomorrow's Monday, so yeah, let's
Awesome.
get this right.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thanks,
much, guys.
guys. Bye
Thanks.
bye.